Hey guys, welcome back to a new video of Planet Coaster. No, today's video is a little bit different from my usual weekly uploads. You might be able to see some stuff in the back, but it's mainly just templates of stuff. But I'm working with the one and only Chant. We're doing something, but just something. And that's pretty much what this is for, that I'm doing today. We don't know, there's no really a deadline for whenever we want to finish it or anything, so this is just me doing some stuff because I felt like doing it since it's Easter, and it is kind of Easter-ish, these builds I'm doing today. So, I am making some, or tree stumps, lock houses, I guess they have plenty of names, just fantasy huts, houses, basically. And the idea here is mainly just to do, to make it livable, to make it seem like that this is a huge tree stump or log, and people have decided to build inside of it. And that's kind of like my goal. So what you will see me do here today is building 3 different ones. I thought I might as well just put it in one video, because because some of them were like only... It was not long builds, as you can guess, since I made 3 of these guys here. So the first one I'm doing here is, that's just a tree stump. It kinda is remind myself a little bit of the previous one I did when I made all the fairies. But this one is kind of like more tree-ish, and I used the planks because I looked at some builds Chan have made and kind of like got inspiration and how to do it from that. So I basically just went in there and tried to use these the driftwood planks, I think they're called, and colored them so it kind of gives that nice rustic texture on the trees. And then I used the other logs to kind of like make the edge, no, not the edge, like where it cuts off. I can't remember what it's called, but you know, the middle of it, I used the logs there to kind of like get that texture as well, and not just only have some openings or some foliage and stuff instead. So I'm making a custom door here because the people that we're gonna use for this is bunnies. I can say that this is bunny houses. So I'm trying to make a door that seems quite okay. This door might be a little bit too long. I do end up shorten it and put it below the ground a bit more. Because I feel like that this was a little bit too much. So I'm doing a little bit more stuff to it. And of course, again, adding tons of useless pieces to it. But I just didn't want it to clip through everything. And sometimes what I do really dislike about making this sort of builds, you have to use the roots and all that, it's the hitboxes on these things. They are enormous. It's just impossible to get anything just to get anything on your mouse as soon as you have those roots on top of them. It's just mission impossible. But I do manage to get through it. It's just delete add as usual, as you do when there's no other options because of the hitboxes. But I didn't have any reference pictures, only Chan's other builds that she made that kind of like was like this too. Then I just added my own touch to it and kind of like made it my own thing. So I'm just adding up a lot of roots, kind of make it look woody, if that's a thing. And just adding some vines, hanging roses, and I also end up adding windows. The window part though is a little bit more tricky for me. I used a little bit more time on it and actually end up doing something totally different. But I will not talk so much in this video, guys, because it's basically just me detailing and building these tree stumps and log houses here. As I said, the first guy here is a tree stump that will get a little bit of everything on, a little bit of detailing, and this guy will not be a blueprint, but the 2 others will. he will probably end up coming on the workshop as well, but for now, I'm only giving you guys the 2 lock houses instead. Because this guy, I'm not sure yet if something is missing or not, but nevertheless, I'm gonna give you guys some magical music, and I will see you at some point at the end, guys. Enjoy. Alright guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the few songs I chose today. After I made the tree stump, I've always had this picture in my head how it will look if you kind of like place two logs on top of each other and kind of made that a house. So, after the stump house, I went over to the log house here, which is gonna be kind of like this. I made this, you saw here in the first part of the video, me make this sort of big log where I use the other logs, kind of like to get the texture on the ends of each side, and it actually goes quite well with that. But as I said, I had that idea of two logs like stacked on top of each other, and then someone made a house and stuff from it, and I feel like this was a quite neat idea. I felt like the end result of it came out super cool. And this is one of the two blueprints I put out today, guys, which is called Thumper's House. I thought Thumper it was a quite nice rabbit name, and if I kind of feel like that rabbits should live kind of like in this or in rabbit holes, if you've seen in a lot of cartoons, and also a lot of rabbits do also live in these sort of tree stump houses and so on. So I felt like it was quite neat, and it also goes very well with fantasy and everything. So after I went in here and tried to did this, I wasn't quite sure yet how I wanted like the base, the structure, the theming itself. I just knew that I wanted two logs kind of like stacked on top of each other, where each of them is kind of like livable. So you don't see the stairway, but I feel like the stairway could be inside of the log, so they made it kind of like so you can go back and forth inside this log here. Because I feel like a stairway would be too human-ish to have, so I did it like this instead. I do end up adding a little bit more detailing everywhere around this particular blueprint here, until I feel like it's done. But you also saw me do a little bit custom windows where I used the gemstones, the colorable panel to get that shine, and then I used the iron box lamps as give that the super shininess that it gives when you see it in nighttime, which you will see in the cinematics. Unfortunately, at some points there were a little bit of clipping on the planks, or how like depend on how you looked at the windows. Because if you look like straight into it, you wouldn't actually see, but if you look like a little bit curved over to the left side or something, you might see a little bit planks or some foliage. So that was also something I used some time on to fix. But at the end I was like, there's nothing there, so why does it keep on shining something different? So I just chopped the short fence on this one and said, nah, you know what, let's just have it as it is, because the shine definitely does something to it, and that's kind of like what I wanted. And I also wanted it to have it like, when you see it at day or nighttime, that the shine kind of like have this, like I did in the Spirit of Christmas with the gnome village inside of the mountain, and the shacks where I kind of like put it so it felt like it was like warm inside. I know I said before, like with ladders and stairways and all that stuff, and then I here go make custom windows when I actually should just have made them open. But the thing is that if I would done that, then I wouldn't have been able to use the planks as the texture. As you see on the edge or on the ends of each lock, because yeah, it just wouldn't work for me, and so I just placed them on the outside of it and just made it a little bit of double layers with the bracket, so I could actually put them there. Here I'm making a little bit of a neat little how do you say, canopy, I guess we can call it. I felt like this was kind of neat, and then I just placed down a little bit of stuff and also put in a trapdoor at the end of the lock here, kind of like to make him feel like that this is a place where you get in and you get stuff in and out from this particular part here. These blueprints here doesn't really have any like super function in me and Chant's upcoming project, but it's mainly just for scenic pieces, as the mushroom were from the Spirit of Christmas. But as I said, since it was Easter and I just didn't feel like going into Dania Blackmire above in here at this point, so I felt like I just needed to try out my creative juices here and see where it would take me when it came to this part. And I must say that I'm quite glad I went over to this project and kind of like did some more stuff. But not, as I said, it's mainly just these blueprints, and there's the cinematics is mainly also just the blueprints kind of like packed and placed together with some trees in the back. Because it's something it's been going back and forth if we wanted to do it or not, but we find a way to do it now, so I'm super satisfied on the turnout on this. So we still continue to do all kinds of stuff here while we will building this project of ours. So maybe sometime you will see some time lapses or not from Chant or me that has something to do with this project, and then at some point the project, the POV will come. So yeah, and I think that we're not gonna hassle through it. We're just gonna focus on getting all these things done. And we also gonna, I mean, it's not gonna be the spirit of Christmas, but it's definitely still gonna be a ride, storytelling ride itself. That's the only thing I want to say right now, guys. So for now, I'm just gonna give you guys these sort of small little blueprints and maybe a little bit of scenes and all that stuff. Yeah, here in the back you might see a little bit of stuff that we might use for the project. But I just forgot, as soon as I built here, I forgot that I had all this stuff in the back, so it was a little difficult to hide it away. But nevertheless, it's always nice to have a little bit of spoilers in the back at some point, I guess. I also think you saw me making those bird nests out of the scarecrow pieces. I actually thought that was a super cool idea. I always thought about making some bird nests and some stuff, and then I actually found a way to do it now with this guy. So that was quite nice. I'm super happy about that. And here we go over to the last guy, which is something I actually think I built this, was it like 35 minutes or something? And this one I'm calling Trixie's Carrot Farm. And I think Trixie's, it's also quite okay for a rabbit name. And the carrot farm will explain itself, since I'm making a little carrot farm on the frontier, because I think they need some carrots in their forest village. So it's basically me again, just doing the same things, adding the same windows, some vines, trees, making a little bit of a custom chimney here as well. I'm just trying to add some difficult stuff different stuff all the time. So the buildings doesn't look repetitive, but still have their own unique vibe. And yeah, kind of like now we made Thumber's house, and here is Trixie's. And then the tree stump there, I don't really have a name for it yet. It will come eventually. I might do one more tree stump. That's also why I'm waiting to put it out, because then I might do it in 2 pieces in one blueprint, because now the 2 ones you see here are 2 different ones. They don't go in one. And also, if you guys want to check them out for yourself, have them in your park, or just wanna check it out on the workshop, it's the link is down below, guys. So go check it out if you want to. Afterwards here, actually, sometimes when I have built this, when I'm like in a groove, I built all these in like 4 hours, I think. And I could probably have built more and added some more detailing and just basically just added some more stuff. But I didn't feel like it was necessarily in that way, that it kind of has the vibe it needs for now. And I wasn't actually thinking about adding the carrot farm. It was mainly just me now, because I felt like that it would look too much alike the same, even though the other guys stacked on top of each other. So I felt like they weren't quite as good. So here I'm kind of trying to make some carrots here with a little bit of flowers, and yeah, just trying to put some down, and I'm trying to make it look a little bit messy, and yeah, you know, same old stuff. One thing I really find as a good thing and a detail aspect is the vines and the hanging roses on the floor, if you want to have some grass planes, as you see here I'm doing, because it really adds something to it. And also put like a little bit of shrubs just poking out a little bit of the ground. That definitely does something to it, instead of just placing 3 or 4 bushes randomly. So yeah, sometimes just play around with the foliage. It really does something. As you know me, guys, I'm a sucker for foliage. I love how much it really just does something to a build. So yeah, that's definitely something I can recommend. Just foliage it up, guys. No. But anyways, here I made this little bell here. I thought it was kind of neat as well, because you know I like adding those small little things that makes the blueprint a little bit unique. So I was like, if this is carrot form, it could have a bell that says, you know, like food is done or something. Here I used a little bit of time on using this canopy here because I really feel it's awesome. But it just didn't go well with the wooden pieces and all that stuff, and I couldn't really make it to look proper. So I did try some stuff out here. As you can see, everything kind of failed. I didn't know if I should trim it more or if I should just let it be so it actually looked like a tree or a log or a stump, or what we're gonna say. I did end up adding some ropes to it. I felt like that was okay, and then kind of like feels like some of the rope holds the building together, and yeah, you know, I just feel like ropes also does something to it as well as the foliage does. There's so many different things and pieces you can add that just does that extra thing to your builds. And even though it's my first time I'm doing this sort of stuff, but I really enjoyed it. It was super fun, and I can't wait to build some more of it. Maybe trying to create the village that also gonna be a part of our little ride here. So, but yeah, I hope I didn't say too many things, too many spoilers, because of course we also want to keep it as good as far as we can as a surprise for how the ride is gonna be and what is there to come and all that stuff. So hope you guys will keep your eyes out for more stuff of this kind. I will of course explain some more for each video if I will make more videos. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that I will end up building some more stuff that will be good for a little time-lapse video for you guys. But anyways, we are almost at the end here, and as you can see, the build is almost done. And as I said, check them out on the workshop, guys. They are there, and I always appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you had a great Easter, guys, or are having one. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Here are some cinematics. Take care, guys. Bye.